During the summertime, is there anything more perfect than watermelon? And I love that you can eat it fresh, but did you know that you could also turn it into a dessert? That's why I'm making today my watermelon and lime granita. It's super sweet, icy cold, and refreshing. And it's the perfect light and bright dessert to make when you're entertaining or for any day during the summer. So come on, grab your watermelon and I'll show you how to make this. I did not do the greatest job cutting up this watermelon. It kind of looks like a hot mess, but that's totally fine because it's just gonna be blended up anyway and no one will know. All you're gonna need for this watermelon and lime granita is sugar, limes, and watermelon. I'm just gonna start off trying to harvest 8 cups of watermelon. Back in my culinary school days, I always volunteered to chop up the fruit for our family meal. I'd always be like, can I cut the fruit? I have no idea why, I just really enjoyed it. And so I would cut the fruit for like whoever amount of students we had in class and in the whole school on the buffet line. And so to the point where my chef teacher would nickname me Julie Fruit, kind of like juicy fruit. Oh, I should also say, make sure that you wash the outside of your watermelon before you slice into it because you don't want that dirt carrying in through the inside of the watermelon through your knife. You're not gonna drag that dirt in, are you? So give it a rinse. This is a very forgiving recipe, so if you have a little bit less or more than 8 cups total, I think you'll be just fine. Oh my gosh. I keep dropping watermelon all over the floor. It's like Pretty Woman, slippery little suckers. Okay, 8. 8 plus a couple more just because I like it. I'm gonna clean this a little bit, clean up the floor a little bit. I'll be right back. Here's my little special Julie touch to make this watermelon granita extra special. I used to be a caterer, I used to be a food stylist, so I can't help it, it's in my blood. I like to just take little scoops with a melon baller if you have it. If you don't, you can use like a tiny spoon. You could just put little cubes of watermelon. This is gonna be garnish and it's also gonna be texture. And I feel like this little step is what makes the granita so special. What are your tips of picking out a really good juicy watermelon? Leave it in the comments below. I would say my tips are just pretty much make sure that the watermelon has a nice yellow, kind of like a dark yellow bottom, because that means it's been ripened on the vine longer. And then the watermelon itself feels heavy for its size. So like when I was lifting this thing out of the bin, I was like, ooh, this is a good one. Summer means watermelon and citrus. And I think the lime really does something special when you combine it with the watermelon. It just makes it pop more. So it's not just one note. It's not this like predictable taste. So I'm just adding 2 limes juiced. And then you have to balance it out with a 1/4 cup of sugar. Watermelon is already sweet, but the lime is really tart and you need just a little bit. I'm just gonna blend it up with about, I don't know, maybe half will fit in. You don't want your blender to be too full. You want it to be nicely incorporated and mixed with this limey sugar mixture. I'm gonna pour a little bit out into this baking pan. You wanna make sure you have a little bit of a surface area, whatever you use. But you know, make sure it fits in your freezer. Pour a little bit out, but I do want to keep some in there because there's like that limey sugar in there and I want to make sure everything's nicely mixed. I first made this recipe back in California when we were living there for our friends Jason and Vanessa. And Jason loves watermelon. And they, needless to say, they loved this dessert. Just pour the rest in. But that's it, guys. All you do is pop this into your freezer. Make sure you have nice space in there. Leave it uncovered and just leave it in there for 1 hour. And then I'll show you what to do with it. In the meantime, go do something else. It's been many hours later and I think my granita is finally done, or as done as I'm gonna be patient for. And honestly, it took me a lot longer than I expected because I actually haven't tested this recipe since I first made it back in California with a different freezer. And I was also a little crazy and I kept opening my freezer over and over again a little too much. So don't do that. So I would say go for at least an hour and a half the first round uncovered, scrape it, and then go for another 2 hours without touching it and scrape it again uncovered. Then cover it and check it about every hour after that. So I just have one bit of advice to you. Really just work on this when you're already at home, fiddling around at home, doing home stuff. But don't check it way too much because then you're gonna end up just like me. I'm just gonna garnish my little cups here for the granita. Put in a little lime slice. I'm just dividing my little watermelon balls between my cups. Okay, moment of truth. I'm gonna go check on my granita one last time. Hopefully it's done. Okay. Ideally, I think I would want it slightly a little stiffer than this. And you can see I did a good job of scraping it every so often. Therefore, it's not in solid chunks, but it's nice and shaved ice-like. How stiff you want it is up to you. I mean, you could totally eat it just like this. This is nice and slushy. Nice, cold, shaved, frothy snow. Beautiful color too. You can just hear that slushy ice as I scoop it up. Now I'm just gonna grab my little wedges of watermelon. Oh, how cute. All right, time to taste. You feel like a giant eating that little piece of watermelon? Mm-hmm. So I put these little lime wedges on the side in case you do need a little squeeze. But what do you think?
Wow, it's cold.
I'm like, is he gonna answer me?
Oh, but it's really good. The flavor is just so watermelon-y. Mm-hmm. Like frozen watermelon.
But in a really good way. Mm-hmm. It still has a complexity to it. I think because of the lime. Yeah, I mean, it is cold because you're basically eating shaved, frozen, pure frozen watermelon. There's no water added. You know, after a long photo shoot and a video shoot, it's kind of perfect. And you don't feel guilty at all eating this. For substitutions, there's really so much you can do because not only can you switch up the citrus, you can always use lemons instead, but you can basically use almost any fruit you want to make a granita. You can try lemon, cantaloupe, grapefruit. I mean, it really is endless. But there's something so special about this watermelon version. I just feel like it's a little bit more slushy because of the flesh of the watermelon and because also it just reminds you of the epitome of summer. Well, we're gonna finish this up for sure. It's super refreshing, super cold, sweet, a little bit tart, citrusy, wonderful. So I hope you enjoyed watching this. Make sure you watch our behind the scenes of the making of this video. It took us a long time, although we fast forwarded through the magic of editing so you wouldn't know, but check it out. And if you enjoyed watching this video, remember to push like, leave a comment down below, and subscribe to our channel. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye. I like the little watermelon balls. Mm-hmm.
You're a watermelon ball.
Mm-hmm. Delicious and cool.
Not juicy and round.